Welcome to today's topic. We started a series on number and numeration. We have taken profit and loss. We have also taken marked price and discount. Today we'll be looking at simple interest. Simple interest. It is one of the topics on the numbers and numeration. Simple interest. Let's look at the meaning of simple interest. Simple interest is the interest calculated only on the original principal for the entire period of a loan or investment. You need to note this, that the interest does not increase on accumulated interest. So what does this mean? It means that interest is calculated only on the original principal. If we put that in another way, it means interest is not earned on interest already added. That is, the principal remains constant throughout the period. The statement above is what distinguishes simple interest from compound interest. What are the terms used in simple interest? So let's look at the key terms used. The first term we want to look at is principal. Principal is the original amount borrowed or invested. Rate, R. Rate is the interest rate per annum. That is the rate at which the interest is given per annum. Time, T. Duration of the loan or investment, and it is usually in years. It is usually in years. I want you to put this aspect of the time in your mind. Duration of the loan is usually in years. Duration of the investment or loan is usually in years. Simple interest, SI, or simply I, is the extra money paid or earned. Amount is the total money after interest is added. Formula for simple interest. Our simple interest is simply PRT over 100. Don't forget, P is our principal, R is the rate, T is the duration of the loan or investment in years, divided by 100. Amount, A. Amount is the total money after interest is added. So in other words, our amount is principal plus interest. Now recall that we said our interest is PRT over 100. So if I replace the I here with PRT, I'm going to have A is P plus PRT over 100. Multiplying through by 100, that will be 100A, 100P, 100 cancels 100 here, so you have PRT. Since we have P and P here, we can factorize P out so that we have 100A is P into 100 plus RT. So eventually P is 100A over 100 plus RT. So I want you to commit these two formulas to memory. The first one, simple interest, is PRT over 100. The second formula, amount is principal plus interest. And the third formula, 100A over 100 plus RT. A there is the amount, R is rate, T is time, and P is the principal. Important time conversion. This is very common when you're writing either Waec or Jamb. If you're giving your time in months, that time in month is equivalent to half a year. So you have to convert the months to year. That's half a year. 3 months is 1/4. That's 1/4 of a year. 1/4 of a year. 9 months is 3/4 of a year. 18 months is 1/2 of a year. So you always convert your time to years before solving. Sometimes the time could be given in weeks, so you should remember that 52 weeks make 1 year. So let's look at worked examples. The first example we're looking at is a sum of 20,000 is invested at 10% per annum for 156 weeks. Find the simple interest. Again, T is 56 weeks. You need to remember that 52 weeks make 1 year. You will arrange in such a way that the weeks will cancel out. So 156 weeks times 1 year over 52 weeks. That means 52 weeks make 1 year. So 52 here will give you 3. 3 times 1, so you have 3 years. So I've succeeded in converting our time to from weeks to years. So we find the simple interest. We're told to find the simple interest. So simple interest then is the principal, 20,000, times the rate. The rate is 10%, and eventually the time, 3 years, over 100. So if you resolve this properly, you will get 6,000 naira. Question number 2. Find the amount when 15,000 is borrowed at 8% per annum for 8 months. Sorry, 18 months. So our time is 18 months. We need to convert months to years. Don't forget 12 months make 1 year. So if you divide 18 by 12 and multiply by 1 year, you're going to get 1.5 years. So our time now, the duration now, instead of using 18 months, we use 1.5 years. Our simple interest is PRT over 100. So our principal is 15,000. The rate is 8%. The time is 1.5 years over 100. Don't forget, the rate is 8%. We converted 18 months to 1.5 years. So if you resolve this now, you will get 1,800. Remember, we're told to find the amount. So amount is principal plus interest. So our principal is 15,000. The interest is 1,800. So if you resolve this, you will get 16,800. Question 3 now. A sum of money amounts to 24,000 in 2 years at 10% simple interest. Find the principal. A sum of money amounts to 24,000. So amount is 24,000. We have time, 2 years. We have rate, 10%. We have to find the principal. You will just quote the formula. P is 100A over 100 plus RT. Our amount is 24,000. The rate is 10. The time is 2. So if we resolve this and resolve that, we will get this over 120. 10 times 2 is 20 plus 100, 120. By the time we resolve this, you will get your principal as 20,000. Okay, so you will attempt the following questions. You will go through the lectures properly, commit the formulas to memory, and then you will attempt the following questions. So let's look at the questions. Number 1. A sum of 50,000 earns 12,500 as simple interest at 5% per annum. How long was the money invested? How long was the money invested? Let's take it again. A sum of 50,000 earns 12,500 as simple interest at 5% per annum. How long was the money invested? Number 2. A man borrowed 20,000 at 8% simple interest and paid 23,200 altogether. Find the time for which the money was borrowed. Find, you will ignore this part. I think this part and this part are the same. So find the time for which the money was borrowed. Number 3. A sum of money earns 4,500 as simple interest in 104 weeks at 15% per annum. Find the principal. A sum of money earns 4,500 as simple interest in 104 weeks at 15% per annum. Find the principal. Question number 4. A sum of 20,000 amounts to 26,000 in 3 years at simple interest. Find the rate. A sum of 20,000 amounts to 26,000 in 3 years at simple interest. Find the rate. And lastly, a sum of money amounts to 500,000. A sum of money amounts to 500,000 in 2 years at 10% simple interest. Find the principal. A sum of money amounts to 500,000 in 2 years at 10% simple interest. Find the principal. You will attempt these questions and see if you actually understood the lecture. I'll see you in the next lecture.